English Edge podcast.
From the English Clarity Lab. Welcome back to the English Clarity Lab, the place where we help you navigate those incredibly awkward moments that happen when your English level meets a high-pressure situation. I'm Mary, your analytical guide to professional communication.
And I'm James, the guy who usually says the wrong thing at the wrong time and then thinks about it for 3 weeks while I'm trying to sleep. Hey, Mary.
Hi, James. Today's episode is a big one. It's a fear I think almost every B1 or B2 learner has. It's that terrifying moment when you realize your boss, the person who knows more than you, earns more than you, and signs your paycheck, is making a mistake.
Oh man, just thinking about that makes my palms sweaty. It's like, do I say something and look like a know-it-all, or do I stay quiet and let the whole project crash and burn?
Exactly. And for English learners, there's the added layer of, what if I use the wrong tone and sound aggressive? Or what if I'm actually the one who is wrong and I look like a fool?
Right, because sometimes in our native language, we can use a soft voice or a specific look to show we're being helpful. But in English, if the words are too direct, like you are wrong, it hits like a hammer.
It really does. So, to explore this, we're using our thousands protocol to build a scenario that is, let's say, a bit more sophisticated than your average office meeting.
I'm ready. Where are we going today?
We are in a boutique fragrance blending lab. Think high-end, very expensive, very delicate. You're a junior olfactory assistant. That's a fancy way of saying you help the nodes, the master perfumer.
Okay, so I'm wearing a white lab coat and I'm surrounded by thousands of tiny glass bottles.
Exactly. Your boss is a senior scent architect. She's a legend in the perfume world. She's currently mixing a custom scent for a very VIP client. This client has a severe sensitivity to musk. It gives them instant migraines. The order form strictly says, 0 musk.
Let me guess, the legend is about to reach for the musk bottle.
She's not just reaching for it, she has the dropper in her hand. She's about to add it as a fixative to make the scent last longer. It's a habit for her. Most perfumes need it, but if she drops that in, the client gets a headache, the lab gets a bad reputation, and a $10,000 order is ruined.
Woofs, that is high stakes. If I just shout stop, I'm going to startle her and she might drop the whole bottle. If I say you're making a mistake, she might get offended because she's been doing this for 30 years.
Precisely. So let's look at how to handle this using professional diplomacy. We're going to use our first phrase, with all due respect. James, how do you feel about that phrase?
It sounds a bit formal, like something a butler would say in a movie before telling the king he's lost his trousers.
It is formal, but in a hierarchical relationship, like a junior assistant to a senior architect, it acts as a verbal cushion. It signals, I know you are the expert, but I have to say something that disagrees with you.
Okay, so I could say, with all due respect, should we be using musk?
Better, but let's combine it with our next phrase, a minor oversight. This is a brilliant phrase for correcting a boss because it minimizes the mistake. You aren't saying they're incompetent, you're saying they're busy and just missed a tiny detail.
So I'm giving her an exit route. I'm saying, you're great, but this tiny thing happened.
Exactly. Let's try the scenario dialogue. I'll be the boss, the scent architect. You're the assistant. I'm holding the dropper. James, pass me the ambergris. I'm just going to finish this base with 5 drops of musk fixative.
With all due respect, I think there might have been a minor oversight on the client's request form.
Oversight? I've read the brief. It needs the musk to hold the citrus notes together.
Right, and you're totally on the right track with the citrus. It smells amazing, but I noticed the client mentioned a musk allergy. Could we double-check the no trigger requirements just on the safe side?
Wait, let me see that. Oh, you're right. It completely slipped my mind that this was the no trigger batch. Good catch, James.
Whew, wow, that felt surprisingly smooth.
It worked because you didn't attack her expertise. Let's break down the vocabulary you used there. You used on the right track. Why did you do that?
Well, you taught me that one before. It's like a compliment sandwich, right? I'm saying I agree with your overall vision, you're moving in the right direction. It makes the boss feel like they're still in control.
Brilliant. When you tell a boss they're on the right track, you're validating their work before you deliver the correction. It's very disarming.
And then I used double check. I like that because it sounds like a team effort. Let's check together instead of you need to fix your mistake.
Correct. Double check is a very safe, neutral verb. It implies that the information might be wrong, not the person. And then you added just to be on the safe side. This is the ultimate professional shield.
It's like saying, I'm not being annoying, I'm just being careful for the company.
Exactly. It moves the motivation from I want to correct you to I want to protect the project. Now let's look at the phrase I used in character. It slipped my mind.
I hear that one a lot in movies.
It's a very natural, slightly informal way to say I forgot. For an A2 or B1 learner, saying I forgot is fine, but it slipped my mind sounds much more like a native speaker. It suggests that the memory was there, it just slid away for a second because you were busy.
It sounds less lazy. Like if I say I forgot your birthday, it sounds bad. But if I say it slipped my mind, it sounds like I have a very busy, important life and that one detail just escaped.
Don't use it for birthdays, James, but for a professional detail, it's perfect.
Okay, so Mary, what if the boss is less nice? What if she says, I'm the expert, be quiet, and pass the musk?
Ah, the difficult boss variable. That's where you have to move from suggesting to stating facts while keeping the tone light. You could say, I completely understand your point about the fixative, but I'm worried about the liability if the client has a reaction. Should we confirm the no musk note one more time?
Using the word liability sounds serious.
It is. Whenever you use words like liability, contract, or requirements, you're moving the argument away from your opinion and toward the rules of the business. It's much harder for a boss to be angry at you when you're quoting the client's own contract.
That makes sense. It's not James versus the boss. It's the contract versus the musk bottle.
Exactly. Now let's talk about pacing. For our B1 learners, the temptation is to speak very fast when we're nervous. Sorry, boss, I think musk is bad. Don't do it.
Yeah, that's me. My voice goes up 3 octaves and I sound like a cartoon character.
And that actually makes the boss more likely to ignore you because you sound panicked. To correct a boss, you need what I call low and slow. Lower your pitch slightly and slow down your words. It projects confidence.
Low and slow, like a professional news anchor.
Precisely. Let's try one more little drill. I'm going to give you a mistake, and you use one of the phrases to correct me. We're still in the fragrance lab. I'm about to label a bottle lavender, but it's actually rosemary.
Okay. Mary, just to be on the safe side, maybe we should double check that label. I think I saw you pouring the rosemary into that one.
Excellent. You didn't say you are wrong, you said I think I saw, which leaves room for you to be wrong too. It's a very polite way to soften the correction.
I'm feeling better about this already. I think the key is just having these pre-made phrases ready in my head so I don't have to translate from my own language while I'm sweating.
That is exactly why we do this. When you have the scripts ready, your brain can focus on staying calm instead of searching for grammar.
So to recap for everyone listening, if your boss is about to ruin a $10,000 perfume,
Or just send a wrong email.
use with all due respect to show they know they're the boss, use minor oversight to make the mistake feel small, use on the right track to give them a compliment first, and always offer to double check just to be on the safe side.
Perfect. And if you're the boss and you realize you made a mistake, just smile and say, it slipped my mind. It makes you look human and busy, not disorganized.
I'm gonna go practice my low and slow voice in the mirror now.
While James is busy perfecting his low and slow news anchor voice, let's dive deeper into why these specific phrases work in a high-pressure environment like our fragrance lab. It's not just about the words, it's about the psychology of saving face.
Saving face. That's like making sure someone doesn't feel embarrassed, right?
Exactly. In many cultures, and especially in a professional hierarchy, pointing out a mistake directly can feel like a personal attack. By using our target vocabulary like minor oversight, you're giving your boss a way to correct themselves without admitting they were wrong.
It's like a polite exit ramp on a highway. You're saying, hey, you didn't miss the turn. The sign was just a bit small.
That's a perfect way to put it, James. Now, let's talk about a grammar tool that acts as a diplomatic shield. Modal verbs. These are words like could, might, and would.
Oh, I know those, but I usually just use them for things I'm not sure about, like it might rain.
Right, but in professional English, we use them to hedge. Hedging is when we intentionally sound less certain than we actually are. Even if you are 100% sure that bottle contains musk, you say it might be the wrong bottle.
So even if I'm holding the contract that says no musk in giant red letters, I should still say it might be a problem?
Precisely. It sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? But saying this is a problem sounds like you are challenging her authority. Saying this might be a problem sounds like you are inviting her to investigate the issue with you.
Okay, I'm starting to see the pattern. It's all about the we. We should double check. We might have an oversight. It makes us a team instead of me being the correction police.
Spot on. Let's look at another high-stakes scenario in the lab. This time, I'm the senior scent architect again. I'm about to set the temperature of the distillation kit to 180 degrees Celsius, but the manual for these specific rose petals says they'll burn at anything over 160 degrees. If they burn, the whole batch is ruined.
Oh man, burning the expensive roses, that's a nightmare. Okay, let me try my hedging and saving face strategy.
I'm reaching for the dial. All right, James, let's crank this up to 180 degrees Celsius to speed up the process. We have a deadline after all.
Mary, I completely agree that we need to hit that deadline, but I was under the impression that these damask roses were a bit more delicate. Could we just double-check the heat settings in the manual, just to be on the safe side?
Under the impression? I've distilled these 1,000 times, James.
I'm sure you have, but since this is the new organic shipment, I'm worried the moisture levels might be different. I'd hate for a minor oversight to cost us the batch.
New shipment. You might have a point. Let's see. Oh, wow, you're right. 160 degrees maximum. If we'd gone to 180 degrees, they would have scorched in minutes. Good thinking, James.
Whew, okay, that was intense. I was under the impression. Is that a good one?
It's one of the best. I was under the impression is a very soft way to say, I think you're wrong. It suggests that maybe you had the wrong information, which makes the boss feel less defensive. It's much softer than saying, the manual says you're wrong.
It's like I'm blaming my own memory instead of hers. Oh, silly me, I thought the roses were delicate.
Exactly. And did you notice how James used I'd hate for something bad to happen? This is a classic protective strategy. You are framing your correction as a way to protect the boss from a bad outcome.
Right. I'm not saying don't do that because it's wrong. I'm saying I don't want you to have to deal with burnt roses.
Now, let's talk about what happens if the boss doesn't listen. This is the hardest part for B1 and B2 learners. What if the boss is stubborn?
That's my biggest fear. If I say we should check and they say no, do I just stand there and watch the lab burn down?
Not quite. This is where we use the liability pivot. You shift the conversation from opinions to external consequences. You use words like policy, liability, safety, or client requirements.
So I make the rules the bad guy.
Yes, let's try it. I'm being the stubborn boss now. James, I don't care about the manual. I'm busy. 180 degrees is fine. Just turn the dial.
Mary, I hear you, but I'm concerned about the liability if the temperature exceeds the safety protocol. If the sensors trigger a fire alarm, we'd have to evacuate the whole building. Would you mind if I just verified the safety shutoff first?
A fire alarm? Fine. Check the shutoff, but be quick about it.
Whew, mentioning the fire alarm really changed her tone.
It did, because a fire alarm isn't an opinion, it's a physical reality and a company liability. When you mention things that affect the whole company or the boss's own reputation, they usually stop and listen.
So liability is like my ultimate skill in a video game. I only use it when the boss is really being difficult.
Exactly. Don't use it for small things or you'll sound like a lawyer. Save it for the moments when the roses are truly about to burn.
This has been a lot to take in, Mary, but I feel like I have a toolkit now. I have my cushions, like with all due respect, my shields, like modal verbs, and my emergency exit, which is liability.
That is a perfect summary, James. For our listeners at home, your homework for this week is to find one small thing you disagree with at work or in a social group. You don't even have to be right. Just practice saying, I was under the impression that, or just to be on the safe side, could we double check?
And remember, low and slow. If you sound calm, people are more likely to believe you are right.
Well said. Thank you for joining us at the English Clarity Lab. We'll be back next time to help you navigate another awkward English moment. Until then, keep practicing and keep your roses at 160 degrees.
See ya!